Hello and welcome to Valuechain News. I am Naomi Oleribe. First, the headlines. NSML bemoans global shortfall of competent seafarers. NCDMB to support small-scale entrepreneurs in gas value chain. Stolen 2 trillion naira from oil sector. Nigeria is broke, says Saraki. And now, the news in detail. The Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas Ship Management Limited has lamented a global shortfall of skilled officers in the maritime industry. Addressing journalists in Lagos, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer NSML Abdulkadir Ahmed said that there was an increasing demand for qualified seafarers, particularly officers. He noted that the situation was expected to persist into the future, blaming the diminishing attractiveness of a career at sea as the major reason. Speaking further, he said that lately the focus of maritime regulators had shifted to the greenhouse gas reduction, noting that the changes were going to account for 90% of global trade. The Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board has unveiled a new window of opportunity for small-scale entrepreneurs in the gas value chain that will also grow the usage of liquefied petroleum gas. The Executive Secretary of NCDMB, Simbi Wabote, made this disclosure during the launch of a 30 metric ton refueling plant of Selai Gas Station Limited in Agege, Lagos recently. He said the idea of the new window was to empower women by providing gas cylinders at a reduced price and on flexible payments, even as transporters would benefit through a delivery solution. Wabote commended Selai Gas Station Limited as a front runner in taking practical steps in the decade of gas journey. He noted that the various initiatives being embarked upon by the government through the Ministry of Petroleum Resources and its agencies were already yielding fruits. Former Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki yesterday said the country was broke as the Nigerian National Petroleum Company (NNPC) has contributed nothing to the Federation accounting in the last few months. The former governor of Kwara State further revealed that up to 70 million liters of fuel are stolen daily, alleging further that the country loses about $2 billion annually to fuel subsidy scam. He, however, pledged to bring the era of oil theft and corruption in the oil sector to an end if he makes it to the #1 position in the country. Saraki made this known yesterday in Abuja when he met with members of PDP Board of Trustees as part of his consultative meeting to get the endorsement of some of the organs of the party to key into his presidential ambition. He said, "The economy is weak, the country is broke. I am not exaggerating." Libya's Government of National Unity (GNU) has officially adopted emergency financial arrangements worth 37.6 billion dinars for the National Oil Corporation (NOC) for 2022. The government made the announcement at a special ceremony on Wednesday evening to mark the launching of the Oil and Gas Sector Development Plan in the presence of Prime Minister Abdul Hamid Dibeiba. Outlining the terms of the arrangement, Minister of State for Cabinet Affairs Adel Juma stated by confirming that the committee formed by Prime Minister Dibeiba has concluded by adopting emergency financial arrangements for the NOC. Juma noted that previous expenditures would be covered by oil revenues in the current fiscal year, confirming that the Council of Ministers and the Ministry of Planning will approve the development plans and projects provided by the NOC. Major global trading houses have decided to reduce crude and fuel purchases from Russia's state-controlled oil companies as early as May 15th, sources said, to avoid falling foul of European Union sanctions on Russia. The EU has not imposed a ban on imports of Russian oil in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine because some countries, such as Germany, are heavily dependent on Russian oil and do not have the infrastructure in place to swap to alternatives. Trading companies are, however, winding down purchases from Russian energy group Rosneft as they seek to comply with language in existing EU sanctions that were intended to limit Russia's access to the international financial system. The sources said the wording of EU sanctions exempts oil purchases from Rosneft or Gazprom Neft, which are listed in the legislation deemed as necessary for ensuring critical energy supply for Europe. The World Bank has issued a fresh prediction on Nigeria's economy for 2022, raising its growth to 3.8%, up from 2.5% projected earlier in the year. The Bretton Woods Institution, in its January 2022 Global Economic Prospects Report, projected a 2.5% economic growth for Nigeria. The new growth forecast is contained in the World Bank's latest edition of its Africa's Pulse report titled Boosting Resilience, the Future of Social Protection in Africa. In the report, the World Bank stated that the upward revision of Nigeria's growth forecast for this year was hinged on high oil prices coupled with reforms initiated by the passing of the Petroleum Industry Act (PIA) and the expected completion of the Dangote refinery in 2023. Before we end the news, here's a recap of our headlines. NSML bemoans global shortfall of competent seafarers. NCDMB to support small-scale entrepreneurs in gas value chain. Stolen 2 trillion naira from oil sector. Nigeria is broke, says Saraki. And that's the news. I am Naomi Oleribe. Good evening.